What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I want to start off today's video by saying thank you to all the new and returning viewers out there who are watching today's video. I got a lot of love from the last video, from the like, the comments, the views in a short period of time, and it made me really excited to make today's video and to keep moving forward and grinding out on YouTube for you guys. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do, because usually I'm doing install videos, and you guys saw for the last one, if you haven't already, was every model that I've done to this car. And if you're interested in that video, I'll be putting the link right up here in the video right now. Today's video is going to be talking about the top 5 things I absolutely hate about the S197 Mustang.
I hate all of you.
Now, this video is actually kind of hard for me to make. I'm not even gonna lie. And the reason why it was kind of hard to make was because I really didn't know anything I was gonna hate about this car. Because there's so many positive things that comes out from owning this car and driving it around each and every day as a daily driver, than the negative things that come along with it. There's a few things I can be like, oh yeah, for sure, this car could have been better if it had this, but a lot of it was actually pretty good from factory within itself. Now, I understand that all the things I'm gonna be talking about right now are things that you guys might not agree with, but this is just my personal opinion on things, and you guys could light me up in the comment section down below. I really don't care if you guys do. It's just one of those things where the things that I found that I was annoyed most by it, which I wanted to be able to show to you guys, and maybe you guys can relate to it, or you guys don't relate to it at all. If you don't relate to it, please leave in the comment section down below, but if you do relate to it as well, leave a like and comment down below to say that, hey, this happened to me, or I completely agree with you. And if you guys stick around to the end of the video, there will be a bonus I'm going to be putting at the very end of one of the other things I cannot stand about this car as well. So if you're interested in that, please stick through the very end of the video. So the first thing I hate about this car, and I believe every S197 owner can agree with me on this, is one thing, and pretty much one thing only, and that is the cup holders on this car. If you have a stick shift unlike I do, or even if you're just driving normally and you go like to put your arm down here and you like using the automatic shift button that's on the side of the automatic shifter, you will know that the cup holder is extremely annoying. Not on a daily basis when you don't have anything in it, but when you have a drink sitting right here, for example, and you go to put your arm down and you're trying to shift, and imagine if you had a straw right here and it's poking your arm, just leave me alone. And it's just to the point where it's in a horrible spot. I don't know exactly where on this car you could put it in a better spot, maybe on the side of the door, or a different spot other than dead center in the middle of the center console, because honestly, whoever designed that at Ford, I don't know what you were thinking, but honestly, it is not the best spot to put a cup holder. What I end up doing usually, because I just get so annoyed at this water being right here, is like one of my pet peeves whenever a passenger is in the car and they like putting a drink right there. I'm like, take that shit out. So what I end up doing usually is I just grab it and I throw it in the back seat, because honestly, it's just one of those things where it's just easier to throw back there than it is just to leave it in the cup holder, or I'm gonna poke at it, it's gonna spill, it's in the way, and it's just one of those things where it was just a very bad design flaw within this car. And since we're on the topic of the interior, the second thing I absolutely cannot stand about the S197 Mustang is the outdated interior in here. It doesn't look outdated as of right now, but when you got it stock from factory, it had this big calculator sitting in the middle. The whole front dash was like gray, and just the plastic seems pretty cheap and plasticky. You could literally hear it, and it's just, everything just feels like it's super loose, cheap, and just boring. There's nothing too exciting about this car at all, with the exception of having the LCD screen in the middle that pops up, and not every model even has the LCD screen. Some of them have gauges, some of them just have other boring aspects of this car, and I feel like if you didn't get the premium model or the upgraded models for this car, then you're obviously not gonna have as much fun as if you did upgrade it. Came with the upgraded speakers, and it also came with the LCD screen, which modernized the car just a little bit, and also came with a sync sound system. But yeah, those are great things to have, but come on, we're in 2020 now. This car was made in 2014. At the time, it did have some great features on it, but not even to have a touchscreen in the middle of the car was a big no-go for me. But honestly, I'll be not gonna lie, the radio is very simple to use. It was very nice. I actually really enjoyed using it. It was kind of hard for me to want to transition over from the old radio to the new radio I have now, and you'd be asking the question, why? This thing is badass. And the reason why it was such a hard transition is because the radio is so simple and the sound system worked really well on it. But once I got this radio, on the other hand, it worked even better, and it had a lot more features than the OEM one did. I was really excited to be able to get this radio, and it really modernized the interior completely. So if anybody's looking for a radio for your car, go for the Phoenix Automotive Radio System. I'm not even sponsored by them at all, but I've never had any problems with this radio whatsoever, and it's one of those things where it looks absolutely beautiful and it really modernizes the interior of your vehicle. And the third thing I absolutely cannot stand about this car, and a lot of the things I could not stand about this car I already fixed already, and that is the wheel gap that was on the rear end of this car and including the front end as well. I ended up fixing this by throwing on some Raceland Coilovers and dropping it down 2.5 inches in the rear and 1.5 inches in the front, which I was able to get a 2-finger wheel gap all the way around. Well, kind of 2 fingers. My fingers are kind of crushing a little bit, but wheel gap was extremely bad because at one point it was literally, for me, not even kidding, and I understand that I had aftermarket wheels on this at the time, but it was literally a fist of wheel gap. If not, I could put another fist in there as well, and I could stack 2 fists in it all at once, and it just looked like a monster truck. I guarantee that if I was to race a Jeep in the dirt, I'd probably win. That's how much wheel gap was on this car, and the suspension travel was insane. The front wasn't too bad though. The front at the time, it had maybe about, you know, 3 fingers, 4 fingers in there, but now it's down to, for me, about 1 to 2, and I don't deal with any rubbing at all. The fourth thing I cannot stand about this car, the fourth thing, and it's kind of funny because it took me about 4 years to realize this as well, ironically. I'm pretty sure every other Mustang owner who has a stock Mustang has experienced this in the past, because I've seen some things on forums about it, but could never really pinpoint the issue until I replaced it and I figured it out myself, and that is the rear sway bar on the car. The question you might be asking is, what's wrong with the rear sway bar? It's literally on there, it doesn't do much other than help with the body roll of your car and help with turning and handling. Yeah, I completely get that, but it squeaked like hell. Like literally, when it squeaked, it sounded like a hamster running on a wheel, and it was so annoying. It happened here and there, and it would happen at the weirdest times. When you're on the freeway, it would happen, and then when you're driving on a normal bumpy road, it wouldn't. It would happen in different weather conditions, and it was just something I had to completely scrap. It's not that it affected the performance in any sort of way, but it was just squeaking so much to the point where it was just driving me crazy. You could even hear it over the music, and it wouldn't happen just all the time. It would just happen at random intervals of time to the point where you're just like, oh my God, what the hell could the issue be? After changing the rear sway bar out, I knew exactly what the issue was. And if you guys are interested in that rear sway bar installation, I ended up throwing a 32mm sway bar in the rear end of this car from CETA. If you're interested in that video, the installation video will be up at the top of this video right now. Finally, we are on the 5th item that I'm going to be complaining about on this car. When I first got it, I absolutely had to do, and it's probably one of the easiest mods I think I've ever done to the car. And it took me literally less than 30 seconds, and it cost me $0. And it took me 30 seconds to do, and a lot of you guys online, and I have no clue why you guys do this, but you guys go out and go buy them for about $25. And I'm thinking to myself, that $25 can go towards so many other things that are on your car. And the thing I am going to be talking about right now is something that you're going to be like, wow, you spent $0 on it? And that is the antenna. I wouldn't say it's super tall, but it was enough to where you could really recognize it and it looked like an RC car driving down the road. It's not that there was anything wrong with the antenna at all. It works perfectly fine, and it was a great piece to have on the car, and I'm glad that it's all in black, because if it was in any other color or like metal, or if it was a metal or aluminum or whatever material they came out with before in like the 05 Mustangs, where they had that big antenna sticking out from the top of the hood, it seemed like, because my dad had an 05 Mustang, and it was just really annoying to see that just bouncing around in the wind. It was just, for 2005, I completely understand why they had that tall of an antenna, but as for 2014, I was curious as to why they're still making antennas so tall. Now, I understand that you're going to be asking yourself with the Shorty antennas is, yeah, the radio signal is not going to be as great compared to if you had a taller antenna, but I've had no issues with this at all. And the one thing that I ended up doing, though, with the Shorty antenna was I ended up cutting this whole thing completely off. And all I did to make this cost $0 is the fact that I grabbed some snips and I cut the top part of this antenna off. I grabbed a cap afterwards and I capped it off, and now I have a Shorty antenna. And a bonus feature I told you guys I would give you guys at the very end of this video that I definitely want to talk about that bothers the absolute hell out of me is the interior lights on this car. I cannot stand, and it's one of the first things I've ever done to this car is change out the yellow, ugly, nasty, trashy, blasty, crappy lights, whatever you want to call it, that are on the inside of this car. Because I changed them to LEDs because I could not stand the yellow light, and honestly, I can't really give you guys a really good demonstration right now. But with those yellow lights that I originally had on the car, it really wouldn't shine at all, and it was just very hard to see everything. And the moment I changed to these LEDs, I was able to see absolutely everything in front of me, if not more, with just one light being on. So anybody who's out there that is looking to upgrade the LED lights in your car, definitely do so. It's a very cheap option, and it's very easy to replace. It takes maybe even 5 minutes to do, unless you drop the LED inside this little plastic container, which could be a hell to get out, but it does happen occasionally here and there if you're ever playing around with it. So if you guys understand where I'm coming from when it comes to those yellow lights that are originally on the car, they are not the best lights to have, and they're completely crap. That's just the best way I can describe it. I don't mean to be so harsh on it, but it's just one of those things where it just was not a good item in my opinion for it being a 2014 model that could have possibly had better options when it comes to lighting. I want to end today's video by saying thank you to all of you guys. I really and truly appreciate of everyone who sticks around for these videos, who likes, who subscribes, who comments down below, because it really gives me the motivation to keep moving forward with this and keep making videos. I even love when people throw me negative comments down in the comment section saying like, oh, your hair looks like shit, or your car is this, or whatever the case may be. It motivates me even more. I take the positive and negative criticism just the same as if someone was to show me a bunch of love. If any of you guys out there who want to start a YouTube channel, who want to go do something that you really love doing, like go to a concert by yourself, you don't always have to go with your friends, or if you want to go to a car meet and you don't want to go by yourself, do it anyway. Don't be on somebody else's watch, don't be on somebody else's time, because honest to God, life is too short to be waiting on other people. Sometimes you got to be selfish within yourself to be able to do the things that you want to do, because if you're not hard on yourself and you don't put in the work and grind and triple down on all your goals and ambitions, you're going to get nowhere in life. And success doesn't only come from seeing what other people have, or oh, you have nice cars, you have a big house, or look at all the things you've done. Success is nothing like that. Success is built around how you look at success. If you're happy, that should be success. If you're looking at this and you're thinking I'm successful, I'm not. I got a lot of other priorities and a lot of other things in my life that are more important than this, and I don't even feel like this is success right here. I look at this as just a stepping stone of where I want to be in the future. So hopefully you guys can take some of that and learn from it and being able to put it toward your daily life. And I feel like I want to give some of these pep talks here and there so you guys can have a little bit of motivation to really go after what you guys want to do. I understand this is not the biggest channel on YouTube or anything too crazy interesting that I can present to you guys always, but I love making videos for you guys, and it's something that I personally love doing, and I'm really going to try to triple down and grind for you guys to make sure I get the TikTok videos out and YouTube videos out there. So thank you guys all so much for watching today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below as you keep saying in every single one of my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.